Yeah, maybe do you want to turn around just a fraction so we can have some contact? Try and make it feel like the living room at home. Burning fire and a glass of wine and just... meanwhile, everyone's having a lovely time outside, walking and in this sort of changeable weather today. So it's sort of serious business now in here. And this is the last sonata that Beethoven wrote, and this is the first real slow movement in all of the sonatas. And I think the word slow is it's a delicate thing, because whilst it is a slow movement, I feel that we need to find within that a flow. Funnily enough, you said just as we were coming on, was it too slow in the concert? And I didn't want to say anything because I thought, it might feel different, and maybe you'd process that. So obviously in the back of your mind, it's one of our concerns. It's one of the beginning of this movement is such a challenge to capture. It transcends everything. And yet we've got all these road signs and choices and decisions to make together as a team, as a collaborative unit. And so I feel that in terms of your collaboration, you have to be very clear about your roles. Who is doing what when, and when are you first among equals? Because I think that there's a danger that one starts waiting for each other, and then it sort of gradually grinds to a halt. And it's probably not what you want, and you might even be thinking, sorry, remind me, remembering names? Tormod. Yeah. Nice name. Tormod getting slower, and he might be thinking, why is Eliza getting slower? I think that somehow we have to make choices very much in your rehearsals, so that in the moment you can be present and have processed all these different details and sort of all the material that is in front of us. So we need to bring it off the page, make sense of it together, and that will help define the course. So I thought one place where it would help in terms of finding the tempo that you want at the beginning is actually that beautiful middle section, major section. You know where I mean? Yeah, in D major, yes. Can we just start from there and find a motion that allows you to be kind of liberated, sort of, yeah. Let's try. Okay, good. So what is the mood here?
It's like almost ironically different to the very somber opening.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot more joyful.
Yes.
Sweeter.
Yes.
With
okay.
a tear in the eye, though.
Sorry?
Still with a tear in the eye, though.
Yes.
Yeah, something bittersweet.
Yes. And what about, just so that we can let our audience know, how many bars is our first slur that we are confronted with, us cellists? 2 whole bars. In fact, 2 whole bars because you have the upbeat as well. Yeah. So, just for fun, let's play it in 1 slur. Okay? Yeah. So maybe that will influence a little bit. Okay, there's the first slur. Okay, it's really cruel of me to do, but I think somehow, even if we're going to break the slur, we have to be mindful of that. It's one long, long breath in a way. And so, Tomad, when you're helping to support that line, where is it? Yeah, you have this sort of rippling motion in the bass that could just help to carry that line a little bit more. They're actually demi-semiquavers. They look faster than they are. Okay, so and we're in 2/4. Okay, we're going to come back to this section. Let's go back to the top now and have that middle section just in the back of our minds. Obviously, it's a very different mood, but I'm just wondering how that will influence our. Okay, good. And we have 2 whole bars of 1 slur. Yeah? So another reason, so I'm trying to just verbalize in my practice when I'm thinking, how am I to interpret this? How am I to try and communicate this? What is he asking for? And obviously there's very much a chordal movement between you. Don't have the flowing part, almost like, I don't know, like an organ playing. I think it helps very much when our pianist collaborator, Tomad, in a way you need to direct the line because you have the harmony. And maybe from the bass more. Can we try once again? And the upbeat as well, it's really spoken somehow. That harmony, just play the very first harmony that we play. Can I hear the whole chord? Because I don't feel like... And how about, because we both share the E, why don't you have a little less of the E and more of the lower Ah. Okay, good. Let's do something really courageous and play twice the speed. Yeah? Okay, keep the tempo or something similar together now. Okay, so the big beats are still slow, right? And we're making life very difficult for ourselves, yeah? So I think you're going in the right direction now with the tempo. It takes a lot of courage because we don't want to disrupt it. We don't want to get in the way of it. We want it to be whatever your imagination is telling you want it to be, or whatever the music is conjuring up, that somehow. But there needs to be an impulse, and you need to really clearly have in your mind, what is it I'm trying to say with this? And I think that will then give you the confidence to go with it. And it will be different another day, but for now. Okay, so, and then there's another marking, mezza voce. So it's a very particular sound, isn't it, that he's looking for. The espressivo comes later. Okay. So even before you enter, it's anticipating, isn't it? You're imagining where you're going. Okay, let's try again. Okay, and the temptation is to sorry, we're not getting very far. I don't know where these thoughts come from, but they come from. So there's no hairpins or anything marked at the moment. In fact, there aren't for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars, the very last utterance we have at the beginning. So whilst we don't want it to sound completely dead, it's definitely not dead. And it needs shape. I think within that mezzo voce, we've got to find, once again. And one other thing to think about, when you, at the end of each phrase, you have different kind of... so they're all asking different questions, I think. So tell the story. Okay, good. It's really coming. One of the, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the joys of being a string player as opposed to a pianist is that we have the capacity to be able to manipulate our sustaining power with our bows, growing through a note or coming away. Well, of course you can do that in the piano because you strike the note. You can give the illusion that you're going somewhere. But the sound is obviously has to decay. So I'm always thinking very much in the bow. How can we support the line, and also intonation. So at the beginning, when you have the C, B flat, A, how low do we want the B flat? And in the preceding bar, the next bar. So the kind of the sad, the happy, with the tears. So just being in touch with the whether they're falling or, and something has to happen. So we have to think it, we have to imagine it, and we have to react. Yeah. So why don't we go from the third bar, so we progress. Very good, but the F natural. Can I just play once with you, Tom? So we have the A, the C fixes. Now the F, where does it go? When I start in order to hear the color of the piano, we have to put our ears somewhere, so that the sound as well, Toma, that you feel that you're helping. We've got to meet the sounds, merge the sounds somewhere. Yeah. Once again together, and put your listening up here somewhere. Very good, but one other thought, when you started on the down bow on the second, so we had, you start with the down, can you try it up? Yeah. Because we land at the heavy part of the bow. It wasn't that bad. But also the up bow has a more of a questioning and the sense of gesture. Yes. So before I felt, when you were playing so slowly, every note had an importance. And we've got to find a kind of curve within the slow tempo. like the breath. I was holding my breath then. It's a kind of, it's breath, isn't it? Should we try from that phrase? G sharp. How? I don't know how much can we. Casals would have played a very high G sharp, I'm sure of it. But somehow there's something quite. If it's too plain, we need to feel the pain inside it somehow. So, yeah. From that one, and it's great this one, isn't there? Because there's a bit more motion. Should we go from here? That's bold. Yeah, maybe should we find it somewhere at the beginning of the bar, Thomas? Just play the C with the chord. Just that last bar you played, 8. Yeah, and then the G sharp, the second chord. Oh, you have the falling line. Ti da da. So ti yum. Just that you really connect with, yeah, there we go. Play that bar. Okay, but in tempo. And let's imagine the off beats rather than the down beats. 1, and. Okay, good. I keep stopping you. Espressiva, then crescendo, second bar. And it's not really happening together, collectively. When you have, maybe as you feel that, oh God, yeah, the tritone, isn't it? Maybe the impulse of the F. Tomo, can you play that harmony? Just yeah. No, do you know where we are? Yes, that's the one. Can I play my F or the F with you? Wow, so you have the falling T. Okay, and so the melody, the bar before, can you start again? And we'll come in. And this is the drum underneath, yeah? Beam, papa, beam. And good. The diminuendo comes too soon. So when you arrive on the E, this now, maybe don't give up too quickly. Yeah. Tempo. Can we put it up a notch? Do you mind? Just for fun, just trying stuff out. But team, papa beam. There's a gravity because you're throwing something up in the air, papa beam, and it has to fall back down, right? Yum, baba beam. This is kind of funereal. It's on its path, and the feet are moving, but they don't stop. You're still motion. Yeah. So let's just move up a notch. Good, but now I hear two accents, sorry. I hear, and there as well. So whilst it's a downbeat, we have a bar line and we have the E. And this is the half bar. Sorry. And then what happens? Is there a slow over the bar line here for you? This time? Not this time. Yeah, I think you need to breathe here. Because, like a singer would, I think at the end. I know there's no rest, but some sense of impulse would be great. And then, yeah, okay. So, beginning of, should we do the E, the high point, E? 14. Sorry, 12. Yeah. Careful not to get stuck. And G. Pim. Papa Pim. Yeah, so that rhythm that the piano had in bar 9, Tomad, when you have exactly, and it goes throughout. And once that's there, it's fate. It's on its course. We have to be disciplined with that, because I think sometimes if we just play how we feel, instinct is really crucial, and in the moment spontaneity, of course, but it has to come from a kind of informed place. Yeah. So we have rules and regulations, unfortunately, that we have to fit inside. But I think that Tim Papa Pim has a natural place, and as soon as it becomes Tim Papa Pim, it shouldn't wait. I think something has to release in that Papa Pim. I may be wrong. What do you think?
There's no right answer.
There's no right answer. Okay, well, let's keep going with that for now anyway. So when we have this new phrase in 13, which you can work out for yourselves how much space you want between, or of course it mustn't stop and start again, but let's start from there and speak the beginning of the bar. I think you'd be better off with a down at the beginning of the bar. So if the last yeah. Padati. Oh, why? You suddenly stopped.
Oh, yeah. How can we be active in this piano? Is piano not pianissimo? So maybe we could be a little bit more. And these little hairpins. Do you want to try that one? From that one. Sure. I'll go 13 again, yeah. Great. Don't wait for Eliza. You're the boss here. You have the melody, right? And we're just commenting. Getting higher.
Okay, good. Okay. How's it feeling?
Can breathe a lot more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you in agreement? Yeah? Can I even influence you to just, even a smidgen more, just, everything's just got to release here. Because it's been so held and kind of stretched in a way. And inside them, yeah. Wow. It's so hard to do, isn't it? Oh my goodness. We go from piano to then piano dolce. So again, maybe the piano before could be even more earthy. Maybe we need to think more bridgy, so you can release. Yeah. Is it making sense, all this? I hope it's making sense. And actually, it's incredible when you look at the process of the sonatas, the progression of the sonatas, how much the cello was becoming an equal partner with the piano, much more than it ever had been. And I think, the development of that dialogue between the instruments is fascinating. And the other thing about the sonatas is that it covers Beethoven's entire life. So, we see the early period, the middle period, and the later period through the sonatas. So thinking of all those symphonic works that were evolving during all that time, and certainly the cello was becoming more popular, and the modern bow was coming on the scene, so that we could sustain more with the power of the piano. The Baroque bows, again, you'd always have to release the sound, whereas with these modern bows, you could begin to sustain and almost compete with the piano. So I think that's really interesting about these sonatas, that somehow there's all this development happening during Beethoven's time. It was incredibly evolutionary. Anyway, so we need to transcend now. So the middle section goes into dolce. So we've had espressivo earlier, we've had a mezzo voce, and now we have dolce. So we have to think of our paintbrush and what sort of colours we're trying to conjure up, and what so in order to do that, we need lots of different layers and levels of sound. So why don't we just go 4 bars into that middle section? Go. we have to find a way to these pa-pum, pa-pim, pa-pum, pa-pim. It's a drum rhythm again, isn't it? Otherwise, every note has it. So maybe it's more the. Imagine that range, that motion all the way down. Team, pa-dum, pa-pim, pa-pum, pa-pim. Is there a feeling of maybe more rubato, more freedom here? You don't have to play too rigidly. The piano has the chorale, or the theme, and we're just uttering a thought, in response. Do you want to play the bar before? Okay, good. Yeah, this is a big upbeat bar, isn't it? Sorry to stop you. You've got the idea now. There's no stopping. That's good. Does it have a feeling of pa-pam ta-ti going into the bar? I mean, you could place it. But maybe the fact that they've all been falling down. There's a kind of hopeful moment. Does that make sense? Yeah. So all this shape happening all the time, we need to tap into that. Even within pianissimo, there's lots of room for shades and nuance. Yeah. So high points and low points, and should we try once again from where's a good place? 51 again. Yeah. Can we just talk about a technical thing? Maybe how, I don't know. Do you move the left hand, stop the bow?
I do.
I asked too quickly. How do you do it? I see. Oh. What happens if you start on the D string color? Have we had pianissimo yet in this? I think this is the first time. Yeah. So maybe, something has to happen at the end of the note so that we can move. Does that make sense? Whatever, yeah. Very good. Maybe because there's a slur over the two bars. Where is it? This one. And we have a hairpin, but we need more bow. Be careful you don't just land on the downbeat, because we changed the bow. We have to, I don't know, find a way. I might even change before the bar line. Because even the interval coming down from the F, there's some tension, otherwise. There's stuff going on between the notes that we have to join up and connect in some way. So think about the arch going over the bar line, not just to the middle. Yeah. How about from 63? Okay, good. So this is another reason why, if the opening is too slow, the motion now is crotchets. T, 1, 2, whereas the beginning motion is in quavers. T, dum, pum, pi, da. So if we wait for every beat, we'll die a slow death, or your right arm will. But we have to still give the feeling of stillness, and it's really hard to do that. But maybe in the back of our minds, we have the discipline of trusting where this is coming. Right? It was much better before the connection over the bottom. It feels like it's a constant variation of the opening, doesn't it? Right from where we began on this last page. And he's sprinkling all sorts of new material, new counter melodies, and it's constantly evolving. And it feels like it's like turning. There's something just, it's unbelievable, isn't it? This music. And what happened? Just one other idea. When you have in 63, the espressiva has departed, hasn't it? Yeah. Let's hear it without the cello line once, just in 63. Just imagine our line, but hear the piano. Okay, can we just add this now? It's interesting hearing it once and now together. Two. Okay, good. So we have to be different roles now. We have a singing melody, and then we go back to the bass line. And suddenly everything's merged into one, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary. All the things that put us to work. Let's see. You're going out there. You changed the bow on the... oh yeah, a long sigh. Bass line. And then the piano carries on. It helps, doesn't it, in that moment, if you imagine... Do you want to play once, just together from the low point, just punctuate a little bit in the bow. That low point. 67. Yeah, why not? Yeah, just pulsate a little. It's a slow dance, isn't it? One and two. Okay, good. Be careful because it's all pianissimo. So we think, oh gosh, be careful you don't come out of the bubble. But maybe it's more spoken again because it's movement, right? Yeah, maybe, otherwise we get incredibly claustrophobic here somehow. Oh yeah. So we've had it's departed us, hasn't it? That expressive high point. Maybe I'm thinking of how much depth, how much weight do I want in the sound? How much do I want the bow to travel? How much vibrato, or how much do I want the left hand to sing? And where am I going? I think those are the questions I'm thinking as I... Yeah. Do you want to do the B flat at the beginning of the bar, just of that very bar?
73? Or 74?
74, yeah. Sorry, from the beginning of the bar. So, one. Can we have more tension in those hairpins? Good, okay. Yeah, so we have little hairpins now to here. And he does it again, but maybe we have to do it slightly differently. The second time there's not always the same emphasis. And now, yeah, I remember in the concert as well. I feel these are rhetorical moments, not just dead moments. Yeah. So we have pianissimo with these hairpins. And then he puts piano, which is actually up in dynamic. And then pianissimo. So maybe, yeah, it's kind of spoken. There's something, he's not ready to let go of this movement yet. Does that make sense? And the silences, that's the other thing. When have we had silence? Tomo, can we just do the first bar of those? Do you know where I am? Yeah. Yeah, there's something incredibly magnetic here. It's like, and we have to create the silences. We have to do something so that the silence says something. Yeah. And what are we going to do in those two bars? Because Tomad, you have a high melody here, right? Yeah. Are we going to do a kind of echo for the second one? And you get lower in register. We think he's given up, but actually not. Yeah? It's a strange, I'm trying to interpret what does he mean there. What does he mean?
Or perhaps it's less in the first one and the second one leads to the piano.
That could work too. Yeah, let's try that. Brilliant idea. How about from the bar before those? 72, 3, 4, 5, 75. Yeah, stop your bow. Yeah, great. I'm not convinced yet, but it might work. Because the thing is, you tried to show us now what you were doing. We have to sort of, that's maybe where we need this to kind of let go and go, I don't know, think with your heart, someone said once. Think with your heart and feel with your head. Where is it? Maybe because the hairpins are coming away as well. It definitely doesn't go into the bar, I think. Maybe it's just the attack on that note. Whether you want to, I was trying to think of like wind players or a different kind of articulation you'd need as a. I mean, we're cellists, of course, in the end. But imagine, are we is it a consonant? Is it a valve? Vowel? Ti da da wa or ti di da. Something. Your tongue. I always think the hand is like the spoken, and react in the left. What do you think?
It's not a wa, but it's more consonant. Maybe yeah.
Like you could imagine that sort of impulse, like a bell. Bells are always good. So when you started this last time, Tomad, that harmony at the beginning, what happens? The same place you went from just now? Yeah. So, 78, 76, 75. Yeah. Bar 75, can I just hear that with you? Wow. That's very far away, isn't it? Wow. So, can we just play that chord a few times and each time find a different sound world to it or different whatever? Should we try? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That's interesting. So, when we sensitize ourselves to what's happening, we're not just doing. When we repeat, we have to sort of conjure up. And it's got to go beyond us somehow. The sound lives in the space. Let's go back one more bar again. So to 74. Oh, don't move too quickly. You've got us to this extraordinary place. We have to think for a moment. Just what's he going to do now? And then yeah. So it's not too automatic when you move on. He does put attacker. But maybe in terms of the drama of it, we need to kind of act something so that you're keeping everyone's attention somehow. And also, it's like Mozart's wife used to play a scale in the morning to the leading tone to get him out of bed. It's brilliant. So keep us waiting. Yeah, I think so. Just to wrap up, thank you very much, for responding and trying these things out. I think that we have such a responsibility as musicians, and it's really hard sitting here and having to talk through Beethoven because we never arrive really. And it's just what I would really encourage is just constant searching and striving for what you're trying to. Someone's talking. Striving and searching as a musician, we have to put so much into all that we're doing, and starting just with the fundamentals, of interpreting a score and trying to understand what he's wanting. And in your preparation for a concert, that you're going through all these different choices, and you're trying before you buy, or like getting the essence of the piece as best you can. And then in performance, the idea ultimately is we're trying to shake how we've learnt the piece away. We just need to forget and just let the ears take over. But that requires so much in the preparation. So I think we were getting somewhere. I think the more you can, the more we get set in our ways and try things, we lose track of other possibilities. So open yourselves up for, lots of different variation within, so that in the moment you can be spontaneous. It's not just something we're setting. Right, I'm going to play Beethoven Fifth Sonata, and this is how we do it. It's it's getting to the essence of the rhythmical aspects, dynamics, tempo, pulse, and all these different things that we have to take care of. And then, of course, instrumentally, how do we do it? How do we use these tools to actually communicate something? Because, everyone here today, and for all the concerts that happen during this festival, are coming to be moved, to escape whatever, or to be challenged, or whatever it is. And our duty is to be able to bring the notes off the page and try and give everyone an experience. And so, we're all still early on in our development and journey, and I think keep going in this direction, and keep looking deeply into the score, and keep playing lots. Okay, great stuff. Thank you very much. Speech over. Great stuff.